What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about this concept of us making decisions based off of assumptions. And oftentimes, those assumptions are incorrect. So the best way to explain what I mean by this is through some examples. So let's say you make a decision to prioritize getting into a relationship, to finding a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And that decision is grounded in an assumption that once you find love, once you find a partner, you will be happy. But that assumption may or may not be true. It's an assumption. It's not actually something that's grounded. It's not something that you fully know to be true. Even if you think you might know it, if you really check in with yourself, there's an area of ignorance there, at least in that situation. And that's just one small example. We make tons of decisions like this, sometimes that dictate our entire life. Sometimes those decisions are to dedicate, 4 years to a college program that you think is going to make you fulfilled once you complete it, right? There's an assumption there that that is the right path for you to take. And of course, a lot of times our assumptions, we don't have an assumption for no reason. Our assumptions come from, psychological programming and conditioning and belief systems. But nevertheless, we make decisions based off of these assumptions that we make that are grounded in belief systems when we don't actually know them to be true. We assume that once we graduate and get a diploma, we're going to be happy. We're going to feel fulfilled. And on some levels, maybe that's true. Maybe that's actually what you were really passionate about, and whatever program you got your degree in is really fulfilling for you. But if it's only an assumption that you are going to be happy once you get that degree or whatever it is, if it's only an assumption, the chances of it being true are usually quite slim, especially when the assumption follows this kind of formula of once I do blank, or once I obtain or receive or get blank, once I get this food, once I get this partner, once I get this drug, once I get this validation, I will be happy. When it follows that formula of once I get blank, then I will be happy, usually it's not the case. And on the surface level, let's say you go ahead and you get that food, or you get that, sex, or you get that drug, or you get that degree. On the level of gratification and pleasure and validation, you'll feel a sense of fulfillment. You'll feel a sense of pleasure, some happiness hormones in the brain. But those happiness hormones aren't long lasting, right? They're very fleeting. It's more of a sense of pleasure, which is very fleeting, than happiness. It's very important to contemplate the ways that we make decisions based off of assumptions. Like, I live in a country that's cold for 4 months out of the year. I'm going to move to a really hot country, then I'll be happy because I hate the cold. This is something that I personally had a bit of a belief system on. I thought I would be happier if I went to a warmer climate. And on one level, that's true. On the level of pleasure, on the level of running away from challenge, that would be true. But on a deep level, it was not the case. Before even taking that action step of moving to another country, I recognized it was a false assumption, and there was a sense of escapism there. And whenever there's a sense of escapism to the course of action that you're taking, obviously that's not the solution to whatever problems that you're facing. So like I was saying, it's important to contemplate the way that our decision making is grounded in assumptions. Because let's look at that example that I gave. Maybe I would have moved to a country with a warmer climate year round, and then I would have recognized that those problems that I had in Canada, I would still have closer to the equator, I would just be warmer. I would still have to face the other challenges in my life that I was unconsciously kind of trying to run away from to a certain degree. And oftentimes we will do this. We will make decisions that are grounded in assumptions. And a lot of times our assumption kind of just like sneaks out the back window. We forget that we had this assumption of once I get into a relationship, then I'll be happy. But then 2 months after you get into your relationship, you start to have relationship problems and you start to re-experience the problems that you were having with yourself, because that pleasure that's only there in the short term, that excitement, those happy hormones start to fade a little bit, and you start to re-encounter the fact that you don't have a very good relationship with yourself maybe. And that is the problem that you were trying to run away from. And your assumption that once I get a partner, I'll be happy was incorrect. So it's very important to reflect on what are some decisions that I'm currently making in my life, because some decisions are on a longer time horizon. Maybe you've been searching for a partner for a couple months now or a couple years, thinking that like that's what's going to be the thing that makes you happy about life again. Maybe you've been chasing a certain dollar amount in your bank account, and that's when you're going to be happy. Or maybe you've been, working towards a degree, whatever it is. Those are some things that can be drawn over a longer period of time. So ask yourself, this decision that I'm making, is it grounded in an assumption? Or do I know, like in my heart center, that I am very passionate about this field. I want to be educated in this field. I am enjoying the journey of education in this field every day, and I can't wait to be a professional and be getting paid for my passion. That is a very different story from once I get my degree and I land a good job that pays a lot of money, then I'll be happy. Because ever since I was a kid, everybody told me that I should be a doctor. But maybe you really don't care about modern medicine all that much. Very, very different approaches there. One is understood in the heart center that this is a decision that not only will make me happy long term, but is currently making me happy. And that's a pretty good indication of your decision-making process, like if it's grounded in an assumption or not. Is it currently fulfilling? Like, is the journey itself fulfilling, or are you just working towards a goal at the end? And you're thinking that, like, once I get there, that's going to make me happy. Trying to chase something, thinking that that is what's going to get you pleasure. It's just another spoke in the wheel of samsara, right? You're just chasing the next thing, thinking, once I get here, then I'll be happy. Once I get there, then I'll be happy. And when that's your mindset, you're never here and now, which is the only place that you can truly be happy. That doesn't mean that you can't have goals, but it just means that without presence, you can't truly be happy. But that's not the main point of this video. The main point that I wanted to hit home here is it would really serve you to ask yourself the reflection question of what decisions am I making or have I made that are grounded in assumptions. And you can check in with that like formula that I laid out before. Ask yourself, is there any belief that I have of once I get XYZ, then I'll be happy? Check in and see what beliefs you have. Like, what is your XYZ if that equation fits into any of your belief systems? And chances are that's a place that you are acting based off of an assumption. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.